Last time on Seas of Saltmarsh. Everything kinda went to shit. As the party pursued Azura Thunderflare, they found that the enemy rival pirate had somehow split their ship into three, sending them off in different directions, to the west, southwest, and south. However, as they pursued one towards a small island to the southwest, they soon found that it was a trap. And as they saw Thunderflare's ship sailing away to the north, their vessel, the glorious vessel of Sorok's fathers, met an unfortunate end at the maw of the Leviathan, one of three massive sea beasts that lurks in the Sea Prince's domain. And now, with the ship torn to wreckage and left adrift on the open seas, our heroes and what's left of their merry band of pirates and adventurers are now marooned on a small island covered in mushrooms. Mushrooms that came up from the Underdark. And this, ladies, gentlemen, and others, is where our adventure begins. Welcome, one and all, to Prison Blade Gaming's production of Seas of Saltmarsh. Shit's about to get real, y'all. My name is Hawk Johansson. I am your Dungeon Master, as always. And joining us today, we have Dingo.
Hello.
We also have Quinn.
Hi.
We also have Shinzo.
Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining.
And last, and certainly not least, we have Shun.
Howdy.
Ryan and Bean are not with us tonight. Ryan has work, and Bean is probably still asleep, but, you know, real life happens. Ain't no judgments here. So.
Sleep is important, after all.
It's true. So, as I just explained in that wonderful recap, y'all got fucking shipwrecked last time.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, as this massive group of marooned refugees is following a fairly sizable group of tiny myconids deeper into the mushroom forests. What's going through y'all's minds right now? What's happening here? How are you feeling about this?
Rage, fury, anger, sadness. I could go down the list.
Yes, Helica is also thinking like, how are we going to like get back out there on the sea and subvert the Leviathan, and just overall she's still thinking about the fear of drowning, even though she doesn't. But yeah, she's just thinking about that.
Holy shit, Hawk, I like the new map.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very nice. I just like blinked and it changed. I was like, wait, what? I zoomed in and
oh, this is different.
Mm-hmm. This was
Very
made
nice.
This was made with Inkarnate, which is an excellent map making program. I have a subscription to them, so I decided, fuck it, I'll use it, and made this. And what's better, I have the source code still on their website, on my profile, so I can continue to fill it out as you explore more.
Nice.
That's genius.
But for now, y'all are right here on Ausz Island. As you are wandering through the mushroom forests, the colors around you seem to swirl and shift with bioluminescence. A veritable rainbow of spores and glowing shrooms and moss all around you, gently shifting as the myconids pass by. As your group occasionally reaches out to poke one, or to pick a shroom and sniff it to see if it's edible. The spoiler alert, they're not. They would change colors, often going from blues to pink to yellow to green and back again. Never really staying one color for too long. Finally, after about an hour of walking through this wonderland, you would find yourselves looking out at an artificial mushroom jungle with large stone outcroppings surrounding almost a crater where more mushroom jungle has come up, but seems to have been grown and harvested in specific ways, so that all the mushrooms grow and wind up together to make small houses. In the center of all these houses is a much larger house, which almost looks like a castle. Oh my god. I just unintentionally created the Mushroom Kingdom. So, as you follow the myconids down into this area, a lot of them scatter into the village, squeaking something in their bizarre language to the others. Your massive host makes their way in, some of them just leaning against the buildings to rest from their horrible ordeal, others just straight collapsing onto each other and sitting down in the middle of the street, finally seeming to recognize that they're in a safe place. As the four of Ryan and Ikarath and Chantel would stay behind to help them recover from this awfulness. As the four of you are led, often by myconids dragging you by the hand, towards the main big building. As you are pulled pretty forcefully through the village, you see that a lot of the village is specifically built for mushroom farming. You can see different types of mushrooms growing out of small fields. You can see all sorts of moss growing along big rocks that seem to have just been planted there so moss can grow on it. But the one thing that hits all of you is the stench. It smells like rotting flesh here. And as you pass by some of these farms a bit closer, it's not hard to see why. Corpses of all shapes and sizes, ranging from birds to general fauna, to even a couple humanoid corpses that have been so overgrown with fungus that you can't recognize what they were, are being used as fertilizer. Raw nutrients for all of the fungus to feed on as it grows bigger.
My question is, should we be concerned?
Alika rubs her chin. Seems like... I don't know. I mean, it seems they're not hurting anyone. Are you, little guys, hurting anyone? Or did you find them like that?
They look up at you, look at each other, kind of curiously, and then are just like, they are food!
Yes, but... but did you happen to find the food, like, already, unmoving?
Like that.
They're still staring at you as if trying to comprehend what you're asking. They are
What?
food?
Were they like us? living.
They are food. You are not food.
They might have not been the ones that offed them.
Well, considering that we came upon an abandoned ship with a lot of dead people on it, well, they weren't the ones that killed.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Which we could at least be happy that that is not the case. But it's a little bit concerning. Because, you know.
I mean, it's a dead body. It's gonna rot anyways. Might as well use it to grow new stuff.
well,
I don't want them doing that to our dead.
I don't think these little guys have it in them. Not to us.
Excuse me.
I guess Helica kind of goes silent at that thought for a brief moment, and then says, let's carry on. Where's your wizard? Was it who's the leader here?
The leader? The leader is Mother.
Right.
As they continue to drag the party along, they continue to talk to you. Mother came and taught us how to farm. She is smart, can help.
Against the beastie out in the sea out there.
Maybe. She's smart, she'll know what to do.
Okay.
She is very smart. Mother is good. So, as the four of you are dragged into the main hall of this area, you would find that the entire large mansion-sized keep is completely hollow, with huge shelf fungus acting as like balconies strewn about different levels of different altitudes within this huge, almost like very fat tower. As the four of you get a closer look inside, you find that a lot of it is just like the interior of this mushroom keep is hollow on the inside, with multiple shelf mushrooms hovering as balconies on different levels of the interior. The center of the keep is hollowed out into a large pit where you can see multiple other humanoid corpses that have been turned into another farm. On the other side of this mushroom pit is a makeshift throne grown from mushrooms and hewn from stone. And sitting upon it is a elven woman with pale skin that seems to be rotting away. The rest of her body is covered in mold, fungi, and mushrooms, literally growing out of her. And around her neck, you see a sigil glowing with green magic.
Helica immediately bows.
Oh, we have visitors.
Yes, I'm sure your people may have notified you. We are marooned.
Marooned? Oh, that's unpleasant. What happened?
Captain?
That monster in the sea kinda left us like this.
Which one? There's like 5.
The one outside outside of the island itself here.
Which one? There's like 5.
There's only 2.
The Leviathan.
Thank you. That's the answer I was looking for. Mr.
Ammo?
That is Ammo. I am gotten Soror Goldeneye.
Helica, soul of the Diamond Deserts, at your service.
And I am Shinzo.
Ah. No fancy titles for you, Mr. Shinzo?
Well, other than God. But, you know, no need to throw that around.
God?
Yes.
What makes you believe you're a god? This I've gotta hear.
Well, I fight big fishy. I get exploded. And I come back. I'm a god.
She looks at the other three as if begging them to explain his words.
He was fighting a mighty foe. A fish almost as fearsome as Leviathan, but not quite, because, the Leviathan's a Leviathan. And when the mortal blow was struck against our friend Shinzo, his body fell. But then it rose again of its own accord, himself still alive again, and fought and defeated it. He is a god. Shinzo, god of Shinzo.
That and he kind of killed and helped kill a. I was gonna say killed a Eternal, one of those automatons over some other plane of existence.
I guarantee you he did not kill an Eternal.
What
Do
was
you
it
mean
called?
an inevitable?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
So I really do not really pay attention
No,
much to these
that-
names.
That wasn't an Eternal, that was a Karn, I think was his name. And we didn't kill
She
him,
actually chokes. He what?
we fought him to a standstill.
Shinzo just smiles very widely.
I landed an entire pillar on top of his face.
That is
Yes.
true. The captain did, well, some very amazing things in that fight.
Because I was a fugitive for being a Phyrexian, and that happened, and we resisted, and now we're here, and we are seeking asylum. Will you help us?
Well, I don't see how I have much of a choice.
Really?
Yes. She
I feel like
steps down and walks around the carnal pit towards the four of you. As she gets close, you can smell pheromones radiating off of her. But they
I feel it.
smell off. Not like corpse smell, but like something equally rotten. But still sweet. Like
I would argue that this is probably a familiar scent, isn't it?
it smells like rotting fruit. So yeah,
Now,
probably.
Of our particularly certain fight that we're not mentioning.
The fight against the goddess, which we're not mentioning in character.
Oh
Yes, that's
Slipmoy.
no. It actually doesn't smell like her at all.
oh.
Oh, I would also like to mention we come from Saltmarsh, our group.
That's to the east, yes, on the Sword Coast.
Yes.
I see. Well, I suppose the best thing I can tell you is a little more about our island.
Yes, there's something that kind of makes me feel a bit jittery. I don't know what it is about this island.
Oh, most people get that. It's the spores. Don't worry about it. But there are many threats that live on this island. This place, Ausz, it's a bit of a... What's the word I'm looking for?
Exotic land.
Looney bin?
Both, really. It's strange, unusual, filled with oddities and abandoned projects. You'll find many strange things in the wilderness, but there are two places you should avoid.
I'd imagine part of that place is something relating to the underdog.
Yes, the Drow have an outpost to the west. These poor, simple critters, and she gently strokes the head of one of the myconids. They believe that the Drow swoop out of the skies to take them away to their encampment, where they are led by an evil witch.
I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising considering stories about Drow.
Personally, I think it's two of them, just priestesses of their spider bitch, but still.
Guess we're under an agreement there.
I am curious. How did you come to be here?
I am what you would refer to as a planeswalker. I have been wandering the multiverse looking for something that is a bit familiar. And you notice her reach up and kind of grasp at her signet as she says this. And I happened to find this island. When I encountered these little critters, I liked them. I decided to help them grow.
Don't mind my asking. I don't believe you gave us your name.
My name is Elias.
What? That one?
Yes.
No way, dude. Yo. No fucking.
Well, that's a rather lovely name of yours.
I think I just gave Shun a heart attack.
Yo, I'm over here looking vaccinated. I'm over here looking like my eyes like wide. What the fuck?
Looking vaccinated?
Yeah, the vaccinated stare. Oh my god, Elias. Sorry, continue.
She
I'm confused.
as she smiles as one of our players has a mental breakdown.
Mental surprise, more like.
Elias just smiles. Now, the other place you should worry about is on the southeastern tip of the island. A large emerald tower sits atop a small mountain. There is a wizard that lives there. He is quite insane, to say the least.
A wizard?
A wizard, yes. He was there when I got here. I'm not sure why he's there or what he's doing, but we take him food occasionally, and he seems to appreciate it. He's just, slightly prone to
Focused.
screaming.
Succumb to madness.
Well, from his moments of lucidity, he's told us that he's been working here on a commission for some time. The best I can tell, he's been here for a couple 100 years.
So, how in turn will this help us get a new vessel that we may sail upon the sea again?
Oh, it won't.
Oh.
In fact, the best thing I could tell you to do is either try to talk sense into the wizard and have him teleport you back to Saltmarsh, or try to curry favor with the Drow and have them sail you back to Saltmarsh.
I'd rather not work with the Drow.
Neither would I.
Didn't you say there were 3 places we should avoid?
Most terribly.
The third one's a bit tricky. There's a large construct that wanders around the island. It seems to move in a circle. I don't know where it is now, and quite frankly, I don't care. But if it carries a doll with it. And if it sees you as threatening to that doll, it will kill you.
Why would we threaten a doll?
I don't know. Everything here is fucking nuts. The drow
enough.
want to murder, harvest everything. The wizard is bipolar, probably schizophrenic. And
Well, actually, the drow part actually makes sense.
yeah, everything here wants to kill you. Except the mushrooms, which is ironic because most of them are poisonous.
Well, they're not actively trying to kill us.
she points at the captain. Well, you got me there.
Your mom pointed out things that would actively try to murder us.
Oh, there are plenty of other threats that will actively try to kill you, but those are the most prominent ones, yes.
Okay.
Oh, and
So,
if you're going out into the mushroom jungle, be sure to watch out for the stick man. He likes riddles.
what? The stick man. Duly noted. But the way back on the sea, it seems that these people aren't willing to help us continue our adventure, but set us back to Saltmarsh.
Yes.
Oh, looks over at the captain.
I need my ship back.
Could the wizard reconstruct it with his magic if we can make him see reason?
Probably.
Hopefully.
I suppose you'll just have to go ask him.
Right.
So we're off to see the wizard.
The wizard of oh my god!
Way to make a Wizarding of Oz joke.
I thought it meant Australia, cause
No.
the Underdark.
Oh,
A wizard and an
the Wizard
emerald
of Oz.
tower.
Oh, man, you actually did that on purpose.
I was wondering how
You
long.
dick.
I was wondering how long it was gonna take for y'all to get it.
I picked it up instantly. I'm just like, oh, wait a bit.
No.
Construct
Oh
Is
my
there any-
god.
we should be looking out for? Or are they too afraid?
Right. Right.
No. The giant construct. It lost its heart.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it!
Yo, I got.
God, these puns.
Bro, I can't believe how slick, like how.
And the stick man is the. Oh my god.
The stick man who likes
No.
riddles. Yeah.
No.
Can't believe this. How did I get got twice? Wow.
I'm over
That-
here expecting freaking Super Mario freaking puns and shit, and it comes out with this. Is damn.
At this point, now I'm expecting both. Next thing we know, we have to go fight some fucking dragon in a castle.
Mushrooms. Mushrooms will put them to sleep.
No, correction, not a sea dragon, a dragon
Oh.
turtle.
So, and also, like, the Wicked Witch or somewhere is on this island. That's what she mentioned, too.
You mean the Drow Witch? The Wicked Witch of
Right.
the West?
Man.
Hey!
Damn it.
I've been planning this
Dude,
for
you
a
literally
week!
put it in her face. If it wasn't for Dingo saying that.
Oh!
Guys, we're in Munchkin Land right now.
You are!
Man.
Oh, it gets better.
Yo. My brain melt. Let's go.
Elias smiles at the group. Well, if you're going to go visit the mage, we've laid out a pollen trail from all the times we've visited him in the past. Just head out to the east. You'll see a yellow trail heading towards him.
Oh, god damn it.
Hard to miss.
I'm sure.
You cheeky
What about that
son
red
of a
trail?
bitch.
I can't believe this shit is happening. Let's go on a yellow brick road, guys. Yellow pollen road.
Follow this road.
Follow the yellow
Follow the
dust
pollen
road.
dust road.
Yo,
I don't care what y'all say. I'm proud of myself.
damn,
Good.
damn, that.
I'm glad I said something.
I don't know what to say.
I'm kind of disappointed you did. I wanted to see how long it would take everyone else to realize it.
I was just thinking like, oh, that's a weird assortment of letters, like Ausz, like, that's why I thought, like, oh, this is just Australia or something. But damn, right, like smooth as like butter. Like I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it hit me.
Alright, Hawk, next time I'll keep it to myself if I see it.
Thank you.
Like the Elias thing was enough, but this was just overkill. Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so we go out to find the pollen road, right?
Yep. Just for the sake of clarity, what do y'all want your minions to be doing while you're out visiting the wizard?
My thinks is if there's people still wounded, still Aurelia is still tending to those wounds. The lizard, my lizard guards are getting anything that comes ashore that may be useful that was destroyed. That when the ship was destroyed, maybe it something dripped off the shore. Zotac is is making friends with the mushroom folk, and in some ways having just holding court with Elias, just getting to talk to her and learn more about the island as much as she can glean, and that's it.
For me, it's mostly figuring out who's dead, figuring out whose corpse that we actually found and who hasn't been found, and finally, basically to see if they on their contracts if they had anything relating to family or, other things like that.
Gotcha.
To allow us to basically,
Alright.
hey, alright, so we're gonna go and basically give these people,
The bad news, yeah.
yeah, and also give them the sailors' shares.
Alright. Yeah, I get you. Okay.
Like, that's generally what my followers are doing, though the carpenter is going to be actively trying to,
Rebuild the ship.
do what he can to get ship repairs and the like.
Later, I will essentially watch the little encampment in the town that our people are using, while Billy John and Freddy Hermes look for cool mushrooms to take back to Saltmarsh, or some that could be used to in place of wood.
Gotcha. Alright. As y'all are preparing and getting your crews their assignments, one of the Blackhearts would approach Sorok. Captain, Bookworm wants to see you.
He'll head over to Bookworm.
Bookworm is currently scribbling furiously into one of his huge-ass books. The little book-laden kobold glances up as you approach. Just a moment, Captain. Yes, I wanted to talk to you for a second, if you have a moment.
Aye. What seems to be the issue?
Are you okay?
Is my emotions that obvious?
You just watched your dad's boat get blown up.
Fair enough. No. I am currently enraged.
Do you want to talk about it?
I spent my whole life on that ship. Well, not my entire life, but majority of it. Majority of it is with my memories of my father. The only memories of my father. Any other memories I probably would have had are mostly of that of my past. And to say the least, I'm rather enraged by the fact that life ended up like the way it did. And that creature and Azura are going to pay through a slow, torturous, agonizing death. The only kind of death a pirate could give them.
He just kind of slowly nods. I'd say they deserve it.
They deserve more than I could actually give.
Yeah.
I pray that the abyss may serve them well as an agonizing hellscape.
I think they'd more likely go to hell itself and not the abyss. I mean, that's...
There was no lawful honor to the actions that they committed. When it comes to other pirates, you don't do that stuff. Yes, we have a rivalry. I was willing to play the game as I should.
Has it occurred to you that they might not see you as a rival?
I am still a pirate. And I'm still a legitimate heir to my father's title. Just need to figure out how to do the fucking ritual. Whatever that ritual is.
And he just nods, scribbles some more stuff down in his book. Thank you, Captain. Good luck when you go. Good luck with your whatever you're doing.
Talking to some wizard along a yellow mushroomed road.
Oh, that sounds like fun. He says with a distinct expression that says that doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, totally fun. Obviously agreeing with him.
All right. So as the party sets out, you find yourselves heading down the Yellow's Pollen Road, heading east towards the Wizard. considering the size of the island, it really doesn't take you long to get there. You started this around, well, actually, considering when the ship was destroyed, y'all probably took a long rest. But, well, yeah, actually, we'll say that the party slept off their weariness and their fatigue from the destruction and set out in the morning. Is that okay with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay with me.
Alright. As the four of you set out, it takes about half the day. You walk through this jungle forest. Mushroom forest. Sorry. You walk through the mushroom forest for a good few hours. By around midday, as you have stopped to make a quick camp and have some lunch, mostly rations, or blood for Helica. You know how it is.
Yes.
The group would hear faint creaking. And not like the massive mushrooms creaking in the breeze. This is more like aged wooden creaking.
Looks around.
As from the shadows emerges a long, spindly humanoid made out of wood. It's easily 8 feet tall, long and gangly, made out of wood and wooden beams that have been tied together with thick leather. Its body is a massive sack, stuffed with something. And its head is another potato sack that has also been similarly stuffed with something. 2 holes glow with beady blue eyes that stare down at the party as its face opens up, cutting to almost completely in half as it starts speaking. Ah, friends!
Friend.
Yes, friends. We've heard of you. Are you the stick man, knower of riddles?
I am indeed the Stickman! Come to plague your minds with mischievous riddles and mysteries!
Ah. Please help me out here. This guy's fucking insane.
No, he actually has a point. Back home, the Sphinxes would always play these games. What is your riddle?
I have many riddles. Answer me these riddles 3, and glorious treasures you shall see. Ha ha ha!
Should we happen to fail, you're not going to turn into some god-awful eldritch being and...
No, I'll just walk away.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. If that would be the case.
A few questions about the rules of answering your riddles.
Yes.
Do we each get a chance to answer individually, or must we answer as a group?
You must answer as a group, but I will give your group 2 chances.
Oh.
2 chances as a group per riddle.
Indeed. If you wish to ask me riddles, you may.
Oh, man. What do you guys think?
I would love to do this.
Ha 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 ha!
I guess we'll have no choice.
Shinzo would just shrug his shoulders like, yeah, I guess so.
Bring it.
Your first riddle, my friends. What is so fragile, even speaking its name will break it?
Silence.
That is incorrect.
That would have made sense, though.
The answer is glass, for it is easily broken.
But
That...
You did not give us our second guess.
Ah! I have failed! You have my sincere apologies, sir. I shall endeavor to do better.
Here is your riddle. A hill full, a hole full, but you can't catch a bowl full. What is it?
Porridge!
Incorrect.
The fuck did you just say?
A hill full, a hole full, you can't catch a bowl full.
Ah! Of course! The answer must be rabbits!
What?
Very close, but the answer is fog.
Ah! I see! Of course! Allow me my next riddle. You never see it, but it's almost always there, and most people quickly notice when it's absent.
Out of character, I know the actual answer, but I know he's going to say it's wrong.
Out of character, what the fuck
it's
was the
air.
riddle?
Oxygen.
As
Yeah.
is Helica answering that?
Yeah, she put up a finger. Oxygen.
I'm afraid that's incorrect, madam.
How is that incorrect? That is something that literally everyone would miss.
The sun!
What?
The stickman actually looks surprised. You are correct!
Wait, really?
He played his trap card. Did you see that?
This guy doesn't know the answers to his own riddles. Just pick something that's kind of close, and you can make sense if you're crazy, and we got this.
But I'm not in. Well, actually, I should hold off from saying that, considering that I have a past of doing stupid things.
We answered your riddle. So, Trisha, right?
Yeah, but you must answer 3.
Where?
Okay.
Also, would you like to ask the next riddle of him?
Mind if I do that?
You go ahead.
What stands on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and then 3 in the evening?
A Pokemon!
What the fuck is a Pokemon? No, that's
There's
wrong.
like 1,000 of those little bastards.
And not one with 3 legs. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 4, but not a single one with 3.
Hitmontop, bitch.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't stand on his legs. He stands on his
My
head.
character repeats. No, that is incorrect.
Oh!
It was man. Man, baby, then adult, then elderly.
That one doesn't make sense to me, but I'll give it to you.
Children crawl on all 4 of their limbs. Men and adults walk on only 2 limbs, their legs, and then elderly use a cane, utilizing 3.
My next riddle for you.
He's mad. Remember?
In the world below, almost everything has a heart as dark as their surroundings. This thing is the one exception, giving a light glow to the Underdark.
Mushrooms?
Correct! Out of character, that is the wrong answer.
What?
What?
Yeah, the right answer is a flumph.
Oh.
Uh,
I was taking a guess by the factor of, like...
Yeah, there's glowing mushrooms all around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
and now for our next riddle. What have I got in my pocket?
A ring!
Wrong, I don't have any rings. It's a jar of honey!
My God! How could I have been so blind?
I mean, it is a giant bulge in my pocket, like...
Indeed! My next one. My body is thin and slender, and I grow shorter every day. You can use me for my one purpose, and I'll be sure to lead the way. When I am placed upon a pastry, then my life is soon to fade. What am I?
Okay, the real answer is candle. Frosting?
I'm sorry, but that is incorrect.
That's all?
That is also incorrect. The answer is a candle.
What the? What?
I think this guy's fucking with us.
You mean I'm fucking with you?
Out of character, yes you are. In character, yes this guy is.
Yo.
You have a riddle for me.
Yes, it's quite a simple one, and anyone can answer. Alright. What is at the end of everything?
He actually looks like he's considering this one.
Oh, I gave it to you. Where's the Jeopardy? Where's the...
Do 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 do.
The letter G.
What is a letter?
No, that's
Shinzo looks over at Elika too. Yeah, what is a letter?
You can't. But you failed, so we win.
I have one last riddle for you. Answer this, and you shall have my treasure. What kind of room can you never enter?
Shinzo, you want to do the honors?
I can't do the honors. You see, there is no room. I cannot enter. I would just break through anything.
There is probably one that you don't realize.
Okay.
This one sounds a bit more philosophical than you realize, which is weird. How many guesses do we have on this one?
2.
The mind?
An interesting answer. But not the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, well,
I know, I'm thinking like an empty room, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, it does kind of fit the sort of mad logic he has been using, because once you enter, it's no longer an empty room. So you couldn't have entered the empty room. Because now it's just a normal room.
Man.
Well, I'm not sure if viewpoints it's going to be the backward logic or a proper answer for this one.
Damn it.
Else have any suggestions?
I mean, it seems if we hesitate too much to say the wrong or right thing, he just picks the opposite of whatever we say.
You got the answer that makes sense. Honestly. And go with that.
Okay.
Do you have your answer?
Yes, and we will give it to you when we are good and ready.
Haha, fair!
Emily, just gonna have to go for it. If we don't get the whatever it's treasure, we did at least attempt, and we got this far.
He's made out of wood, so his treasure might be a fuck ton of wood. Save us a trip to the other crazy guy's house.
Right. Hey, Stickman, how strong are you?
Why are you?
I am quite strong. I can lift an entire log.
Wow, that's very strong. Can you enter an empty room?
Yes.
Duly noted. Okay, so that's not the answer.
Alright.
Wait. It's a room that you cannot enter. Yes?
Right. Oh man. It's just
On one hand, the actual answer to this is a joke. On the other hand, the answer he's looking for is actually really fucking intelligent. He just doesn't realize it. I will tell you that you are on the right path.
Who, me?
No, Dingo.
Oh.
Thinking about it in abstract philosophical concepts like you can't enter an empty room because then it wouldn't be empty anymore is the right path to the actual answer.
well,
Wait,
Anyone,
okay.
anyone
So I
in the
think
chat
about-
want to chime in here?
I think I just figured it out, guys. Probably the room you're already in.
Is Amo saying that out loud?
He's saying that to the party, but not as his answer.
that sounds like a winner to me.
Let's try it.
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Unless someone in the chat wants to give us some tips here.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Yeah. You can't enter the room you're already in.
He sits there for a moment, staring at you. Then claps his hands to the sides of his head. He's like, "My goodness! You're the first person to get that riddle right! Ha!" And then promptly barfs up diamonds.
Yay! Yay! I'm not sure if I should be disturbed or celebrate about this.
After barfing up a watermelon-sized pile of crystals, he stands up, claps 3 times, spins around, and starts hopping away on one leg. eventually fading into the darkness of the forest around you. I'll be back someday with better riddles!
Goodbye, strange stick man. Are we sure we didn't eat any mushrooms before we got here?
I don't think so. But God, that was an intense Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. Oh my God. Let's get these diamonds.
Into the bag of holding they go.
Yeah.
As you all start picking up the diamonds and examining them, you find they're not diamonds. They're just useless, shiny rocks.
Oh my... This fool just wasted...
Put them in the bag anyways, because there are some people who really like shiny rock.
That's
more
true.
Than gold.
That's true.
Right. Okay, well, it wasn't a waste of time, but...
It wasn't actually a waste of time. You all of you will have advantage on intelligence checks for the rest of the day.
Oh, I feel a bit smarter. Interesting. Let us continue on this road of the yellow stuff. Pollen, of course.
The pollen dust road?
Yeah.
Yes.
As you continue down the pollen dust road, a couple hours later, a couple of you would feel a thump, followed by another thump. Thump.
Helica pauses.
Picklesby, look as cute as possible and non-threatening.
Rawr.
Oh, I know you always do that. You are so good.
Thump.
Helica looks... She looks at the direction where the sound is emanating.
Eventually, as you continue forward a bit, you find a wide clearing. Looking back and forth, you see that the clearing is a huge path that seems to curve as if it's walking around the island. And coming down that path from the north is a huge iron golem covered in thick, bloody spikes. Cradled in its hands is a small human-sized doll. Dum, 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 dum.
Is anyone going to say anything?
Considering how clearly saying the stickman was, I'm afraid to say anything because it might be considered a threat.
Right.
As the massive figure slowly passes by the party, its head looks up at the group, its eyes locking with each of yours in turn, as it calmly stomps past, seemingly satisfied that you're not going to attack it.
Yes, we're not your typical murder hillboats. Let's make our merry way down the yellow pollen road,
Yeah.
as it were.
About 10 minutes later. Do you guys think we could have taken it?
Well, yes, Shinzo could have knocked it and toppled it over. Yes. I say we did a service by sparing it.
I mean, a service to who? I mean, certainly to it, but it clearly terrorizes the rest of the island.
Wait, it does?
I mean, they're afraid to go near it because, if it sees anything as a threat to the doll, it instantly attack.
It's because they don't understand it.
I mean, we could try to go back and talk to it.
On the way back.
Okay.
As the group continues on, you would eventually reach the base of the mountain around mid-afternoon. Looking up, you can see a vast, well, not vast, but like a sizable climb up the side of the mountain. to a tall emerald tower. It isn't hard for the party to get up there. There actually is a path leading, like winding around the rocks of the mountain that gets you there pretty quickly. But as you approach the main door, you find it locked. The tower itself is pretty fucking big, and seems to be made of some kind of green rock. But it doesn't look like it's been constructed. It looks like the green rock was like grown or like directly hewn in the shape of a tower from somewhere and just plunked on this island. All one solid stone surface. The door itself is made of wood that has been dyed green, shimmering in the sunlight. But the one thing that catches your eyes more than that as you approach the tower, you couldn't see from below, for some reason. Hovering near the tower, on a small outcropping of stone that's just floating in midair, is a massive door, easily twice the size of your pirate ship.
That is one big door.
Phew.
You guys want to check out the big door?
Of course.
Oh no, it's floating like 5 stories up.
Aw, dang.
Well, Bigglesby can carry me and one other person.
I mean, the Shinzo can fly.
Either Sora can go or Helica will just like spider climb up the wall here.
Well, Bigglesby could probably come back and pick up the last one.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Unless DM says, hey, don't do that, go in the other door, please.
Y'all are welcome to go examine that big door.
Let's do it.
We're going to go to the big door.
As you fly, spider climb, or Bigglesby your way up, as you land in front of this huge door, you see that it's made out of solid iron. And no matter how hard you push on either side of it, it won't open. Because I feel like I should elaborate. This is not a door leading to anything. It is a door frame and a door, and that's it.
Just random door.
Are there any magical runes?
Plenty.
Oh.
May I roll Arcana to make sense of them?
You are welcome to try.
Oh, Lord.
You're pretty sure that one is a D.
Let me see. D. I. See. Oh, this guy's just fucking with us.
In reality, the runes themselves are... The runes are so, like, intrinsically linked and interweaving that it's actually hard to tell what they're actually saying.
Alright.
Shinzo, no. just no.
I just find it funny that 2 metal to 2.
The 2 magic users.
Yeah, you see, this is what happens when you leave the casters at home.
Yeah.
Oh my god, leave the castles at home and Shinzo's the small one.
Let's take the normal elevator. Let's take a normal door.
Yeah, let's knock on the green door.
As you fly, spider climb, or Bigglesby back down, you knock on the door. Doom, doom, doom. As it echoes throughout the interior of the tower. A few minutes later, you hear a clicking and a whirring that seems to be getting louder as the door is opened by a Medusa.
Immediately. Would any of us be aware of the effects of Medusa?
That's a good question.
Helica's never seen one.
As the four of you look at it, including Bigglesby, it looks at you, tilts its head. Yes.
We're here to see the wizard.
Please come in. As its head turns 180 degrees, followed by the rest of its body starting to follow behind it, as you realize it's not an actual Medusa. It's an automaton. Designed to look like one.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God, Hawk, the amount of times you fucked us. I was scared. Oh man, okay.
We're all mad here. As you enter, you would find that the main hall here is very, very comfortable. And you can see all sorts of other, like, clockwork automatons just hanging out. Clockwork creatures in terrariums or cages. Some birds whistling. But you can tell that it's all pre-recorded, as the sounds just keep looping over and over again. All sorts of, like, you can see as the Robo Medusa leads you up a large set of stairs. You can see a robotic manticore prowling the halls. You see a robotic chimera just lounging about in one of the big hallways as you pass by. A couple of the larger rooms you look into have all sorts of humanoid constructs in different states of disrepair. And finally, you reach a small library room. And looking inside, you can see a gnome. As the Medusa enters, "Master, there are visitors for you." Visitors? Ah, yes. The Myconids must be back. Yes, that is, yes. Is that it? Is that...
You're the one running this whole joint.
No, that's too smart for the Myconids. They're stupid.
Hey, you, short one.
He suddenly turns around, a mad gleam in his eyes. As he does so, a figure emerges behind him, a burning green skull with emeralds in its eye sockets.
Never mind.
Oh, I didn't say short. I meant, I meant sweet.
Hello, we're Marooned here, and we would like your
Sweet.
help building a ship.
I promise you we pay very well.
And
The gnome just slowly approaches the party. Are you real?
Yes. We survived the Leviathan outside of the island.
Leviathan, yes, the Leviathan. It's big. It's very big.
And it's a bitch that's gonna die.
Yes, very, very big, very big. It's not big enough. Needs to be bigger. I need to rework the rudders. I need to make sure that they're big enough to handle the wind shear. Yes. No, we have guests. We need to help the guests. They're marooned. They could be marooned longer. I'm not done. As he turns away and goes back to his table, where you can see multiple blueprints that not even blueprints at this point. They have been erased and scribbled over so many times, it's impossible to tell what they once were. Yes, we must work, no. But the work is done, isn't it? Yes, we're just waiting for him to pick it up. Waiting on the commissioner. Yes.
Are you... Alright, did someone anger you?
No, we've just been waiting a very long time. Yes, waiting for years. It's been at least 3. He ought to be here.
Oh.
The gnome turns around, and you see a bit of lucidity glimmer in his eyes. Cerulon, of course. Cerulon Thunderflare. He commissioned it. He commissioned this ship. I'm waiting for him to come back so I can give it to him.
Ship, you say?
Yes, he already paid for it. It's his. He just hasn't come to pick it up yet. Where is he?
Oh,
Did you say
So we're
Thunder
step
Flare?
home, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's me. I am Thunder Flare."
Cerulon? You finally come. Your agent said you would be magnificent, but I never thought you would be purple.
He gets that a lot.
So you are here to pick up your project, yes?
Of course.
Yes. I'm supposed to ask something here. What was I supposed to ask? Oh, yes, there's a problem with the engine. We don't...
we have an engine.
He stammers over himself a bit. I should show you. Yes, we should show him. Yes, we should show him. Make sure he understands how it all works. Quiet, you. We have to put on a good show. Yes. As he stumbles away, he gestures for the group to follow him. As you do, he leads you down the hall and up a couple more staircases before finally pushing open another doorway. Until you realize he didn't push open a doorway at all. He instead pushed on a wall with an arch in it, and the wall just fell backwards. As you walk through the archway, all of you can feel like you just walked through a portal. Like, you can feel that you just shifted somewhere. And then, looking out over it, you find yourself in a dark, massive chamber that seems to have no end. Below you, underneath what feels like metallic docks, is blank emptiness. Nothing but black. Above you, nothing but blackness. To the left, to the right.
Are we in some new whole universe or something?
Yes, it was difficult to do, but I managed to construct a semi-plane. I knew you'd be proud of me for keeping this a secret for you, so I had to be very careful.
Oh, thank you. Job well done. As he looks back at the group, just like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
As he
roll with it.
He walks up to a small platform and a pedestal, and then just starts tweaking some buttons and dials, and then slams his hand down on something. As lights along a much longer dock start to light up, lighting up a ship. It is glorious. Thick, hardened wood that seems to glow with an enchantment of its own, with thin golden filigree swirling along the the front edge, you can see multiple fins with blue fabric stretching out from the sides, with multiple other, like, ribs coming up the ship, reinforcing it. And above the ship is a massive balloon, reinforced with all sorts of wooden and metal beams, with a small cabin hovering under, like, attached to the bottom of the balloon itself. Huge fins and propellers storming off the sides like blades. It was very difficult to make, Mr. Thunderflare, but I think you'll be pleased with how it runs.
Shinzo would just smile and kind of wait for him to do something else.
How do you run this? If you don't mind me asking, as a layman of our friend here.
Oh, it's quite complicated. You'll need to have a full crew, but I assume you have one, of course.
Of course we do.
Yes. Do they? Shh, we can't judge our commissioner. He'll probably bring one. Will he? Yes, I'm sure. Will you?
We
Shinzo
do.
would just look at them with this glare in his eyes. Do you doubt me? And oh dear God, that was bad. that was
Advantage for doing it against a crazy person?
maybe.
Yeah, he looks at the four of you. Yes. If you didn't come with your whole crew, then where is your crew?
They're currently at a town, or village of the mushroom folk.
The
Oh.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Ah.
Their mother, Elias.
It'd be
has-
reckless just to wander into a land of unknown
Go.
knowledge and history if we were to, you know.
Go ahead, Shun.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay. He seems to accept that answer, but then sighs. Look, we have something to confess. There is a problem. I don't have the key to start the engine. He lost it. No, it was stolen.
Stolen by who?
Filthy dark elves. The Drow of the East stole it. They currently have it.
Of course the Drow stole it.
They don't know what it's worth. They don't know how much power is in this vessel. Stupid elves. Of course they don't. They're not stupid. They know full well what it can do. That's why they stole it. No, they don't.
What does it look like?
For the first time since you've seen him, his expression is completely like the same, as both sides of his personality look at you like you're an idiot. It looks like a key.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way to identify it? If it was in, like, you know, a pile of keys, how would you know which one it is?
Oh, you know which one it is, trust me. How does he
If-
not know what an airship key looks like?
Because I'm the scout. I don't fly the ship.
He's
You know what? Roll persuasion.
I mean, he isn't lying, to be fair.
God damn it!
You are
It's just the
you-
night of bad rolls.
You aren't equipped like a scout.
looks at my very scout armor,
You're equipped.
looks at my eyes of the eagle.
Why would a scout have a giant bee?
Because how else is he supposed to do the scouting if he's always on the ground?
Scouts don't fly, scouts track ahead. They have camouflage. That's not camouflage. Who are you? They are our friends. They are guests. They are from the outside.
Relax. Look, he is a scout by the factor that we have him scouting ahead through flying in the air. Yes, he's pretty damn obvious with the outfit and everything, but he's effective at what he does.
The mage is quivering with rage, trying to figure out, trying to decipher this. Roll me persuasion. This time,
I'm rolling it.
Yeah, you. He seems to accept this. Yes, that makes sense. You must be the first mate of Cerulon's vessel. Yes.
I would be the captain of his vessel, and he the owner of it, and thus I help maintain the crew's loyalty and honesty.
He looks at Shinzo, looks back at Sorok.
Yes, I'm an orc. What's the problem with that?
The Thunderflare nobility hated orcs.
I'm different.
He's gone. As the door slams shut behind the party.
Well, shite. How am I supposed to know that?
Can Shinzo just punch through this here door?
As Sorok just pulls out his sword and it ignites in flames.
Shinzo would start punching at the door.
Roll me strength, my dude.
Oh no! Oh my god, no!
Oh!
God damn, everybody's really bad today, except for me, for some reason. That makes no sense. I'm usually the one that rolls bad.
Jesus hates me!
Oh!
Shinzo, do I break my hand? What happens?
That's a good question.
You try to punch the door only to find that you're punching a stone wall.
That's
unfortunate.
Shinzo,
Oh shit, ow.
you are a god, but you are a god of Shinzoing, not of wall breaking. Bigglesby, do your thing.
How was I supposed to know that this lad that this gnome is obsessed with is hating orcs? At this point, I got used to the idea that nobody gives
no way.
Oh
Okay,
my god!
Okay, Hawk, it doesn't state it in collateral damage, but would he not get advantage on this?
I'll let him have advantage on this.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually gonna make you roll. As Bigglesby slams through the stone wall, the group would find themselves in one of the hallways, in the large room next to that archway. And I will put your characters down here. Alright, this encounter is going to go differently than how I planned it.
Oh, wow, this is nice map. Really, really nice map.
It is.
Yes, and you can thank Gabriel Pickard for this map. He does some amazing work. So, they aren't going to be part of this, but all of these boys will.
I get the feeling we were supposed to be delayed by that construct for pretty much the rest of the session.
No, you were meant to meet the,
Crazy wizard. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody here was thinking it.
Oh, no, he is absolutely kind of bonks.
He's wonderfully mad.
All right.
Are we sure about that?
Yes. As you emerge from the archway, you find a massive iron and stone construct stomping towards you. Dum, 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 dum. The mage behind him. Yes, that is them! They are the interlopers! They are here to steal my commission! Kill them! Kill them all! Destroy them! Ow, I hurt myself.
Oh no. You alright?
I'm fine, just slightly dying.
I imagine that's exactly what he said. He's like, ah! Oh no, I hurt myself.
Can we have Bigsby fight that thing?
Of course. Once it's Bigsby's turn. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Hawk?
Yep, waiting on Sorok to roll initiative.
I almost went first.
Almost, but not quite. So he is just a mage. Why is there no initiative button? Oh, there it is. There is an initiative button. I'm just blind. Yeah! It's alright. I only slightly don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, based on the wonderful world we were just running around in, you know what you're doing.
Aw, thanks, buddy. Alright. What song should I have playing for this? Alright, fuck it. I'll just use some more DM Dokuro music. He's good at what he does. She, he, they, I don't know. Alright. Shinzo, you're up.
He would just immediately charge at the big golem and start slicing away with the sword of moving and longsword.
Sword of wounding and longsword. Well, all four of those are going to hit. Alright, your blades swipe out, striking, smashing, slashing away. You do a lot of damage to it. You can see that your blade strikes are slicing into the wood that makes up the majority of its, like, joints and limbs. But it doesn't seem to be doing all that much damage to it. Alright. Will that be your turn, good sir?
That'll be it.
Alright. Sorok, your turn.
Okay. Gonna go over here. And I'm gonna do what Dark Souls has taught me, attack this guy in the ass and do a butt ton of sneak attack damage.
Okay.
On top of a divine smite. So,
as you slide in behind the
advantage.
shield guardian, you see its head, like, turn to follow you, As you strike out, it clenches its right fist. As you see a ethereal shield pop up around its gauntlet, blocking your attack.
Okay. Action search?
Go for it.
Okay. And once again, same thing.
That will still not hit.
Son of a... Okay. Well. You can't attack me while I'm... In the meantime. And I'm just gonna stay in the melee of the wizard so that way he can't cast spells without me hitting him.
No, he can still cast spells. He just has disadvantage on attack rolls with them.
There's, isn't there like also attack of opportunity to...
No.
Do you have the Mage Slayer feat?
Fuck.
Good thought, though. Alright, and it is his turn. And then... Shoo! With a swirl of mist, he appears on the other side of the room, snarling at the group. Minions, to me! As he decides to shoot a firebolt at Shinzo. Shinzo, your AC is well above his roll.
Okay, can I use the Tulge's shield that I have, and since he missed, reflect the attack back to him?
Sure, make me a ranged attack roll.
I don't have any ranged attack. How do I do that?
Roll dexterity plus your proficiency bonus. While you're doing that, I will pull up the rest of these minions. This is going to be a very strange fight. That'll hit. All right. As you reflect the shot back at him, it slams into him. He squeals in panic as the bolt just jams into his stomach. Ah! What? How? You cheating swine!
I do not cheat. I just kick ass.
He's not wrong.
All right. You can see all sorts of other creatures raging towards you from down the hall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, can flesh golems go that fast? I've never actually used them. Yeah, they can. All right.
That chimera is just too damn cute to kill, okay?
Yeah, I know it is. It's adorable. All right. Chimera. All right, so flesh golem dashed. Medusa. Let's go with the Medusa first. The Medusa just glares at the party, eyes glimmering with vibrant green. Which also does nothing because she's not actually a Medusa. You're welcome.
Thank you, O merciful GM in the sky.
Ah, yes. I have heard your prayers. I am a beneficial DM. Occasionally. As the mechanical chimera raises one of its robotic dragon head, which pops open its mouth and unleashes a flamethrower stream across Amo, Bigglesby, and Helica. Y'all must make me a DC 15 dex save.
Bigglesby has advantage. Not that he needs it.
Yeah. Alright. Helica will take... Let's roll that. 78. Helica will take 37 fire damage. Amo and Bigglesby will take 18. As the flames spray over the group, you all take quite a bit of a hurt. Down to 53. Amo is down to 48. Alright, that is the Chimera's turn. Now I set this book aside. Pull out the other book. Because this shit isn't actually on Roll20. As the massive black mechanical Cerberus starts snapping away at Bigglesby and Amo. Its first attack.
Both of us have +1 AC from being within 10 feet of each other.
Right on. Its first attack against Amo will hit. Dealing
a butt ton of damage.
19 damage to Amo. Its next two attacks are against Bigglesby, one of which will miss. The second, with its last head, manages to bite down on Bigglesby's leg, dragging him to the floor. Bigglesby will take 12 damage from that. Alright. And let's see, that is the Cerberus, the Chimera, the Medusa, the Flesh Golem, Shield Guardian. Right. The Shield Guardian hisses as it rears back, swinging its massive fists down upon Shinzo, neither of which hit. Oh, I'll take that back. They both hit. And they bounce off of Shinzo's manliness. However, as Shinzo deflects those two attacks, the flaming green skull focuses its eyes on him, as two burning beams of light lance out from it, slicing the ground around Shinzo's feet, setting fire to it. And with that, our turn turns to Amo.
Bigglesby lets out a massive cry, a stunning roar, as Amo neatly rolls over him to the other side, and his hand glows as he uses Regenerative Wrath for him and Bigglesby.
Nice.
That is the turn.
Alright, so that's going to put you at 46. Yep.
Yep, and Bigglesby healed his auto 3 per turn.
Right on. Miss Helica, it's time.
Right. After taking that was quite a burn from the servers. It causes Helica to stumble back a bit, and she takes out her Kopesh, letting it grind against the stone, emerald stone. Is this emerald? Well, the green stone floor, as she gains like a couple inches of height as she assumes her Phyrexian form, going into rage mode. Also, Hawkeye, I decided to go with the Totem of the Wolf thing for my rage thing, like as just a final thing. So I just want to let you know that one.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm in rage mode. I'm gonna go up. Take my Kopesh, my wave cutter Kopesh, and like slice upwards at the neck of the servers of one of the heads.
Called shot. Go ahead and roll for it. Your blade sparks and swings up at the Cerberus. That will hit. As you nearly cut through one of its heads, slicing hard into it. It shrieks with mechanical fury.
Okay, that's my turn.
All right, Mr. Shinzo.
Again, he just continued slicing into the big golem, knowing that it has to go down.
Oh, that's going to be 1-2 hits. Your Sword of Wounding strikes into it, dealing a hefty amount of damage. And your other sword does so as well. You're hurting it, but it's still staying up. And Mr. Sorok.
I'm gonna go here. Again, attack it. I'm gonna attack the big ass fucking thing.
You got it. That'll hit. As you slice down into it, your blade pierces into its back, cutting into some very important parts. At least you hope they're important. It whirs and screams with mechanical rage. Alright, that's your action.
And I'm gonna end up here. Because it can't attack me.
Yeah,
now.
That's true. Alright, and it is their turn. Alright, let's start at the top with Shield Guardian. Shinzo, as you watch, you can see some of the mechanical parts starting to slide back together, re-merging and regenerating. As the Guardian raises its hands and starts swinging again. Its 2 hits pound into your chest armor, or your shield, as you manage... Well, you don't have a shield. It pounds into your chest armor as it tries to break through, but you manage to resist it. Let's see, the Flesh Golem. The Flesh Golem stumbles and turns back around towards Sorok. As it swings its massive hand down towards you. As both times it swings wildly at Sorok, it manages to punch him, once in the chest, once in the jaw, dealing a total of 19 damage.
Ouch.
It's going to be its turn. Let's see, the Medusa... The Medusa is going to step up as from its arms snap out 2 blades that it starts swinging wildly at Sorok. One of them manages to connect, slicing neatly into his arm, dealing another 7 damage. And finally, it leans forward as its serpent hair starts extending out like slinkies, snapping its fangs at his face. And they hit. as they start biting into Sorok's shoulders and neck, he can feel it injecting poison into him, dealing 12 damage.
Constitution saving throw to the poison, I'm guessing?
No, it's just poison damage.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. The Cerberus, two of its massive angry heads start biting at Bigglesby some more. One of which manages to connect. As it bites into his leg again, Bigglesby roars in pain. As it deals 17 damage to him. Its third head tries to bite at Helica. Snapping around her arm, its superheated fangs burning through her Phyrexian armor. As it deals 19 damage, which is halved because you're enraged.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So, 9. Alright, and the Chimera... The Chimera roars and hisses, its mechanical parts creating an approximation of these animalistic noises. Its lion-like claws snap out at Helica. That'll hit. Its horns slash out at her as well, trying to headbutt her. And with its last head juts forward to bite at her. This actually really isn't going to be a lot of damage, because she resists so much of it.
Oh,
Helica, because she is enraged and in Phyrexian form, will only take 24 damage. And with that, it is the mage's turn. Alright. I'm going to need Helica, Bigglesby. I'm going to need... Okay, Helica, I need you to make me an athletics save. As looking...
Athletics save or dex save?
Athletics check.
Oh, okay.
As you can see, behind the Chimera, behind the Medusa, the mage is casting a spell. A very powerful one. And as he rears back, you can see ice crystals forming on his fingers as he brings it down and unleashes a snowstorm of cold energy across the room.
Uh-oh.
15.
Yeah. I ask you to make an athletics check because you happen to have a very large creature standing in front of you.
Right.
How would you like to use it to resist this spell?
Oh, okay, so since this spell is going to be aimed towards her and then the creature's snapping at her, jeez, she's going to... Jeez, I don't know where it's coming from his direction. Is it coming from up, like above me, or under me, or straight at me?
A little above you.
Oh, okay. She's going to run forward, do like a Bayonetta slide, underneath the Chimera to end up near the mage, if she can.
I'll allow it.
But it's more so like a inkling type thing. You know how they go into like, they can go into a puddle and they come up like that.
Nice. I like it. Alright, I'll allow it.
Oh, nice.
As he unleashes the storm, How much damage does Cone of Cold do?
Fuck.
Ah, a lot.
No.
Alright. Amo and Bigglesby, you two will need to make me dex saves. You aren't resisting this. Or not dex saves, con saves. Alright, Amo will take the full 35 damage. Bigglesby will take half.
So 19.
18. Alright, and aiming at Shinzo, the flaming skull fires its heat ray eye beams twice, but misses both times, so...
Can I reflect them? With the shield? Cold shield?
Yeah! Go ahead and make me, no ranged attacks. Where are you aiming them at?
Hold on. I need to type it out. Okay. I'm gonna try to, what's its, like, range?
The room. It's actually got a good range on this.
Could I possibly, like, get these two? The Medusa and the other one?
Yeah, I'd say you can do that.
Okay, yeah, that's why I'm gonna send it.
Alright. Go ahead and roll. Alright. So the attacks slam into the Medusa, scorching its chest as it turns angrily to face Shinzo. And with that, that is the enemy's turn. Amo, it is up to you. Time to save the day.
Yep. Amo holds out his hand, pouring his energy into Bigglesby as a bonus action. Assault Rush. He then moves up, and he's really tired of this guy biting him. And so he's going to tear him a new one. All of those are with advantage.
Yeah, all of them will hit.
So 28, 38, 40, 55 plus 8, that's 63 damage. If my math's not wrong.
You're 10th level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 63 damage.
Yep. And his wounds slowly close.
Bigglesby lands on this mechanical Cerberus, reaches down, bites it once, tears a head off, bites it again, tears another head off, bites it again, tears its third head off, bites again, rips it in half, and roars, standing over the wreckage of this mechanical doge.
And movements to fuck out of dodge. And that's my turn.
Fair enough. Miss Helica?
Right. Helica is just trying to grab and wrestle this chimera down. Like she's just standing there, her feet planted, her stiletto heels planted into the emerald flooring, and it's kind of like breaking the stone, and it's just she's just trying to wrestle this thing. Like, damn it!
Are you actually going to grapple with it?
Oh, is that a thing? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, is that a strength check?
I'll let you use your wave cutter attack as your grapple attack, which will succeed, by the way.
Okay then.
now comes the question. How are you going to hold it?
Picturing like a is so Herculean in my mind that she's like just got it trying to wrestle like the lion head underneath her arm and like trying to pull the like so brutal with it. Her claws are digging into the maw of the beast and trying to yank back and to split his head all the way back.
Ooh, nasty. All right. As you are pulling its head back, its other heads are struggling against you, trying to get some kind of purchase against you, but they can't. All right, Mr. Shinzo.
And once again, gonna go crazy on the big guy.
All right, the latter 3 attacks will hit. The first one it deflects with a single swing of its massive arm. However, as it leaves itself open, your slash with the longsword slices through the wooden elbow joint, leaving one of its arms on the ground. The rest of your attacks are a flurry of blasts against it, driving it back. 24, 31 damage. Did you already use your action surge? Action surge?
No. I've been holding on to it.
You're thinking of Sorok.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorok, it's your turn.
Awesome. Sorok is gonna cut into the wizard.
As he has finished casting his Cone of Cold spell, missing his initial target completely, Sorok comes up next to him, leaping up the small ledge to bring his flaming holy blade down upon the mad mage.
Oh, with Helika's positioning, I now have advantage.
That you do.
Yes, 'cause the wolf totem, so it's like having like what was it? Some pack tactics.
Pack
as well.
tactics. Nice. Your blade swings down and slices into the mage.
And most certainly smiting.
That is gonna hurt. That's gonna be 24 damage total. He screams as you cleave him nearly in half. All of his constructs stop and turn towards Sorok, completely ignoring everyone else.
Uh-oh. Just not good.
Alright.
I mean, 2 of them were already paying attention to him, but how the rest of the...
Alright. The Medusa moves away from Helika to get up.
Provoking an op.
Yep. Helika, would you like to make an attack against her?
Yeah. Okay. Let me do that one. Whoa. Okay.
Shinzo, go ahead and make your attack of opportunity as well.
Damn it! I missed.
I missed. Yeah, both of those will hit, buddy. Jesus. And then the Chimera starts trying to force its way out of your grasp.
Mm.
Not even... make me an athletics check. Athletics save. Oh, yeah, you've got it. You have got it in... You have got it in your
Oh, Helika is wrapping her legs around it, and like her thighs are just crushing the life out of this thing.
Alright. So, Sorok, I hope you have a lot of health.
Is kinda not help?
Oof. The Shield Guardian swings its first hand down, smashing you across the face. It raises its other arm, notices that it doesn't have another arm, brings up its hand again and backhands you across the face as well. Grand total is going to be 34 damage.
Ow!
The flesh golem stumbles forward, its hands lashing out. 1, 2. As both of them smash against your armor, but don't make any purchase. The Medusa herself snaps out with her blades. One of them slices into your back, dealing 5 damage.
I am still alive!
And then her sixth,
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
which will miss. That you managed to avoid all of them as well. And finally, the mage. Misty steps over here. Ow!
Zorak just says, Oi! Show that wizard a lesson or two.
And Amo, it is your turn.
You heard the captain.
Oh boy. Mage.
Ouch.
Mage has an AC of nothing. The first 2 attacks, as Bigglesby snaps at it, miss. The third attack, it looks like it's gonna hit, but he throws up a magical shield protecting himself. And then Bigglesby decides, no.
Yo, I'm going to eat the shield and you.
Dingo, how would you like to do this?
I imagine the shield comes up and like it stops his mouth. So he rears up, opens his mouth wider, and just swallows him whole.
Shit, yeah. Gulp.
And that is my turn. Wait, I moved 30 feet and that's my turn.
Miss Helica.
Alright, I still got these guys. I'm just gonna continue to use submission. No, they escaped, I'm sure now.
Oh no, that was a stab.
Oh, what?
You can attack him while you have him grappled.
Yep.
Oh, God, yeah.
You can't stab through its armor, but it's not actively resisting you anymore. The instant the mage died, a lot of them just stopped moving for a second.
Word. Okay. The mage died. I did not even register that because that was a cool scene. All right.
He did.
Okay. And, okay. Shit. So wait. What about the other guys? What about the other constructs? What are they doing?
They've stopped for a couple seconds, but it looks like they're getting ready to start fighting again. As the last command they got was kill them.
Can I already made the action, but I was gonna say, could I stop doing that and then just reanimate the gnome?
You know what? I'll let you do it. As Bigglesby throws the gnome's body out into the center, roaring at it angrily because, you know, Bigglesby is Bigglesby. What would you like to reanimate him as?
What are my choices? Because
what level necromancer are you?
I am a level 3.
Level 3. Any
CR 1.5.
Yeah. So basically,
okay.
It's like zombie, skeleton.
You want my suggestion though?
Hmm?
Shades.
Okay, I'll
Shadows specifically.
I'll rip his soul that's haven't. Well, I mean, I'm sure I don't know how the soul works. I don't know if you immediately go, but she calls him back from the Nether, and makes and just wrestles his soul down to serve and command her. And now that I have him here, so he'll go on my turn then, or something.
Yeah, he'll go on your... You can command him next turn.
Cool, okay, that's it.
Yep. All right, Shinzo, you're up.
He's gonna charge downhill, so that way they will be benefiting from the, what is it? Fighting
Plus one.
style protection.
Oh, yes.
Y'all within 5 feet of me, I can impose disadvantage on any enemy attacks on y'all. So.
Nice.
And you get advantage on all your attacks too.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. Huge buffs. He's gonna instantly start attacking the Chimera, noticing that Helica's having some issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear God, those last two. Why?
It's grappled. You have advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
Still.
all 4 of those will hit as you stab. That's going to be...
Royally stabbing.
15, Jesus, yeah. That's going to be 9, 15, 28, 37.
Is it still standing?
Yes.
Action sold.
Oh, we have a bean. All those will hit. Hi, Bean.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
They're killing robots.
Oh,
But were they ever really alive? The answer is yes, because magic, but...
Yeah.
You missed the whole Wizard of Oz. Oh man. You gotta go back and watch that.
All right.
oh, damn.
Sorok, it is your move.
First off, bonus action, fucking second win, because Jesus Christ.
Agreed. Good job.
A measly 10 more hit points.
It's still 10.
Next thing, attacking this guy.
You got it. As you swing your mighty flame blade at the flesh golem. It hits.
Wait. Would I actually have advantage?
No, but it hits.
Okay.
Its AC is 9. You hit, trust me.
Oh. Oh. Smack it for 19 damage.
Yep. Alright. Their turn. This is the turn
Oh,
they are
shit.
spending.
I have not been utilizing the fire damage.
Probably should.
Shit. Add another 7 to that thing.
Alright. They are taking a turn recovering from the loss of their master. Amo, you're up.
Continuing with the momentum of swinging his body to throw the corpse, he will swing his tail out at the skull.
All 4 of those are going to hit.
Oh, there's the last one.
Wait, how much health does this have? 15.
31. 43 damage.
You manage to shatter the skull as Bigglesby smashes into it with all his might, sending it flying against the wall and just breaking open.
Then with one mighty leap, as Amo just kind of, leans against a pillar and takes a quick breather.
Miss Helica?
Helica would pirouette here and raise her sword into the air and then tries to come down guillotine style on this flesh golem.
Go for it. That'll hit. Your blade comes down, slicing an arm off.
That's me. That's my turn.
Is it?
Oh my goodness, I forgot. Yes, the boy. He's gonna come over and say, "Dispose of this one," and points to the golem here.
You got it. As the shadow rolls up to it, its darkness lashing out to grasp at the flesh golem's chest.
Good.
As it does, you can see the flesh making up the golem's body rotting away as it starts to dissolve.
Oh yes, Helica with her black scleros are just loving this. The pain that's the thing is causing. Anyway, that's my turn.
All right. Shinzo.
He's gonna swing both his swords at the flesh golem. Coming downwards with both of them in an X formation, and then swinging back up with the same X formation but the repulse way.
You got it. So, bam! Bam! Your blades slam into it 4 times as you neatly octosect this entire flesh golem. That's going to be 8, 19, 25, 38 damage. Yeah, it did.
And then he's gonna step forward.
And Mr. Sorok.
Okay, Sark is now gonna swing his attack into the giant golem. Actually, give me a moment. I'm gonna move right here so I can get advantage.
Well, you already had it, but okay.
True, but I still wanted to make sure.
Bean, if you'd like to roll initiative, you can join in.
And I rolled minimal on sneak attack. But there we go. 25 points of damage.
Your blade pierces into the golem's chest, burning through its armor and piercing its core as it suddenly seizes up and collapses into pieces before you.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Dark will use the rest of his movement to go back here.
Alright. Down here, Amo would find that Chantel is approaching.
Jesus Christ, when did you get here?
I just woke up. Did I miss anything?
A lot. But, long story short, robots are bad, okay?
Oh. Well, is there anything to kill?
Probably in that room over there. I don't exactly have line of sight, but I assume there's something to kill, because I can't seem to move right now for at least another 6 seconds.
Oddly specific amount of time.
Alright, what are we looking at?
Well,
A Medusa construct.
yep,
Not an actual Medusa.
This thing here?
yep, that's it.
Yep.
That's all that's left.
We killed the other ones, though I'm nearly dead because of it. Because, I went straight for the wizard. Like any good rogue should.
When Amaru saw Chantel coming in, it was almost as if she was floating, like a ghost. And she starts dancing like a fairy. Dun, 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 and looks at whatever this thing is. I'm sorry, fellas. I seem to have memory loss. It sometimes happens when my mind is a little bit wrong. And she goes ahead and casts a big old fireball.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck.
Is that good enough for you? She swings her staff and spins it around, and then takes it as if she was doing a golf course. All in one, guys!
Uh-oh.
Where are you
What?
centering that?
Yeah.
She's gonna send it right onto the wall and just crush everything.
Alright, so this wall right here directly behind them.
Yes.
That hits you as well.
I think she meant right here.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a better answer for this. Your fireball smashes through the wall, landing in the room beyond before exploding. As the
what a
explosion
beautiful sight.
As the explosion rockets towards you, all of you brace yourselves only for the main heat and force of the impact to fizzle right before it reaches you. The Medusa is not so lucky. Manages to save. Oh, yeah, I think it's a +4. Oh, no, it's a +2. Never mind. Never mind, it fucking failed.
I'm definitely having to do a dex save.
No, because DM Fiat, it went through the wall and only
Yeah.
the Medusa got hit.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
fine.
thank God.
Alright. Amo!
Oh, okay. You know what? This is a nice chalice. A really nice chalice thing, whatever it is almost standing next to. He's going to continue making good friends with it while Bigglesby does the heavy lifting.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Okay, donkey.
Yeah, that's a dead Medusa.
Yay. Okay, next time remind me to keep my mouth shut when it comes to talking to wizards that are a little insane.
Insane.
Oh yeah, we should probably get, Miss Chantel caught up.
Well, we were told that there was a wizard that could potentially help us. He showed that he had some sort of airship. The key to the airship is gone with the drow. And, well, I accidentally said something. Apparently that pissed him off because apparently the person that Shinzo was trying to imitate was, an asshole to orcs, so... Yeah.
So from the beginning,
Yeah, pretty fucking racist.
Queen Elios of the Myconids, you know, that elf with the, the elf planeswalker with the pendant, told us that there was a wizard here who might help us, and he was also bat fucking shit crazy. And he was. There was also a crazy scarecrow running around who doesn't really know how riddles worked, but, he's a nice guy. Gave us some shiny rocks. There's a very scary construct with a doll. We decided not to fuck with it.
Also, the, at least the stick man was not really that, dickish.
Oh yeah, he was nice, just crazy.
Like, he's the kind of crazy you would like to have around. This wizard here was the kind of crazy you want to stay, like, 20 million feet away from it.
And there's some evil drow witches over in the west that have the key to the airship that's through that giant hole in the wall over there.
Yeah.
So
And
we're
we-
going there then.
Yes, we're gonna go and kill some drow bitches to get the riches that we need.
Well, first of all, I need a nap.
I think we all do.
Second of all, I'm pretty sure
I,
there's some
however,
other-
do not trust the Wizard Tower. If anything has noted at this point, never fuck with a wizard and his tower. And while we have killed the wizard, the tower itself might be rigged and may be trapped throughout.
But we have control of the wizard. Motions to shade.
Yes, it still stands, and he stands. So, we do have a point of interest. We can fashion this into a little bit of a port, perhaps. Maybe even a port for our trade in the future.
Perhaps.
Good.
Plus, it could be of use to Chantel if it's to anyone, or even Icaraf. I mean, considering that they are the most magically inclined individuals of our group.
Right.
Where is Icaraf? He hasn't been here.
He's busy with snake business.
Yeah, Snake Gang is... Snake Corporation is busy working on something important.
Snake Corporation is busy with Snake Corporation things, which is generally doing snake things.
Mm-hmm.
Snake Inc. No, we're not a tattoo shop.
I do have a question about this whole thing. The shade is only here for as long as I maintain it. So as soon as Helica just says fuck it, it goes back to where it came from, right?
Yeah, it fades into nothing.
Oh, okay.
Undead created through the Necromancer's Raise Dead ability also only last for an hour.
Okay.
Whereas the undead that are created by the Raise Dead spell they last at a total of
Forever.
They last forever, but they're under your control for 24 hours unless you renew it.
Yep.
which would cost a spell slot every single time.
Oh,
Which,
man.
for a new necromancer, I would always recommend casting that spell at the end of the day each time.
In any case, you use the feature, so we have them for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, just to end off that, I do have the grave thing, like the Colossus thing, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, that's right. You do have the Death Crafter.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get need to get a picture for that one.
We could always turn that corpse into a Phyrexian guy. Or her.
I could.
It's just unless you. That's only if you want to deal with the fact that he's probably has a completely scrambled mind, and adding that mind to your hive mind might be a bit complicated.
Oh, what do you guys say about that? Because I don't know how that would interplay with the whole narrative of the hive mind.
I mean, considering that you already have like 3 voices in your head, what's 2 more?
Or 10.
To be
We don't know how
fair,
many
yeah. To be fair, he's being part of the Phyrexian hive mind would actually probably like solidify his mind into one, but it would also remove his genius and make him just like a servant.
Damn it.
Yeah.
The fact that you'd be doing it to a dead body also means that like you wouldn't get his consciousness. So yeah.
Is there any way I could like somewhat? But that's years of probably research. But that Helica could somehow forge a Phyrexian that has independence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I would imagine that would be difficult.
it is, but for now, y'all are now hanging out in the Emerald Tower.
Yeah.
As y'all spend the next couple of hours exploring your new domain, you find that this guy used to have a lot of really cool and powerful magical items. Emphasis on used to, because almost all of them have been dismembered and disassembled to try and make more constructs.
I was gonna say, I was thinking most of them were probably stolen by Drow, but
Most of them Most of them have been taken apart or destroyed just to try and create more minions. As you
This guy was dead.
As you explore more of his domain, you find a lot of these constructs are, a lot of the more humanoid constructs are feminine. There are a lot of messed up ones or failed ones, or just like pieces of them that look very similar, that all look like they were meant to be the same person. That being a female gnome. However, as you go through his records, and you start noticing a pattern that eventually he stopped working on those and just started making animalistic or monstrous ones.
They were creating their ideal body, failed and went crazy.
I was gonna say their ideal love interest,
Yeah, he was trying to build a wife.
or
I don't need
build a body for someone who died.
There was definitely a feminine mind in there. We all heard it.
I don't need friends. I'll just make a bunch of robot friends, because they don't have to eat or poop or anything, and they won't betray me. Not like people do.
My conclusion is that the mind that was in his head wanted a body and didn't like being inside that vessel, so he tried to build a vessel for it to placate the mind. I don't know.
That's what I think. Something like that.
And to be fair, y'all are thinking too fantasy-like. Word of God speaking here. No, he developed a split personality disorder after being isolated on a single island in a single tower for 200 fucking years. He had no one to talk to except himself.
Though I was also thinking for a moment, like, he's talking to himself, but what I was thinking is that he was trying to either resurrect somebody by giving them a new body, or he was just literally trying to just create his ideal girlfriend kind of thing.
No, he was trying to build friends to talk to.
Hey, Miss Chantel.
Weird that they're all female, though.
After we get this
Or
ship
feminine.
out of the demi-plane it's in, because I don't want to deal with any illegal logistics around that, do you think your brother would be interested in all these spare parts?
I would think so. I was thinking of that. He always likes to tinker with things.
Right.
I'll probably gift him some.
We definitely want to get that ship out of here, because we did technically kill the maker of it, and it was made for someone else. So, I know you're.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, your brother's kind of a stickler for the law and all that.
Well, let's not tell him about that bit. After all, what he's not aware of, he's not gonna be concerned about.
But the thing is, he's aware of everything. But he helps me anyways, because I'm his sister.
But I'm all talking about the fact that as long as we don't tell him, what he doesn't know doesn't hurt him.
He already knows.
I think it's more that as long as we don't, go flaunting it in his face, he's not going to
Say anything.
It'll be like the family reunion. He'll be like, "Ah, dear sister, how are you?" And fucking Sorok will walk up and be like, "Hey, we broke into some crazy dude's house, killed him, and stole his ship."
Okay, if my character did that, he'd probably be more dead than dead.
Man, when I put it like that, it sounds like the party are fucking monsters.
I mean, I didn't say we were morally good.
Hey, we're definitely not an evil party. Definitely.
Okay, we're definitely not an evil party.
Morally gray in areas, but we're more so.
Semantics.
More so.
Practically gave it to us. Might as well be ours. I like the color green.
Well, it's. I'm talking about the ship, which is blue, but yeah, the tower's nice too. You haven't seen the door, have you? It's a giant door bigger than this entire tower just floating on a rock outside.
We don't even know what it leads to.
I'm pretty sure it leads to the ship, but we'll still need to find a way to open it.
That's true.
I think that's what the key's involving with.
I thought the key was for the airship.
Well, as the party...
There's only one way to find out.
As the party concludes their searching, takes a... it's starting to settle into nighttime now. There are plenty of rooms in the tower, which is now technically yours.
Dumb question, is there a winery?
Yes.
Sorok is gonna grab several bottles. Because I'm pretty sure he's at this point needing to get a drink in. Because,
And
yeah.
here, I believe we are going to end for the evening. Crap, how much XP was that?
That was a lot of creatures, and we got through a riddle master.
Let's see. About 1,400, about 14,000 divided by 5. Let's say 2,500 XP for all 5 of you.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go. And, well, that will be the end of this lovely session of Seas of Saltmarsh. Our heroes have entered the island of Ausz, traveled through the jungle forests, goddamn, I keep saying that, the mushroom jungles. They have encountered the stick man who told them stupid riddles, the brass monster who just walked by and nodded at them solemnly, encountered the mad mage of Ausz, kicked the shit out of him, beat up his robots, and stole his shit. And with that, I would like to thank everyone for watching this episode. We have the best murder hobos in this party. Again, thank you all so much for watching this episode. We really appreciate everyone who views these. Special shout out to Shun and Bean for doing a lot of the artwork. Shout out to Ink Arnate, a map program that you can use to make maps for your D&D or other RPG games. Shinzo, my man, does the editing on the YouTube version of this. You can find him, link to his Twitch in the doobly-doo. If you like what you saw, or liked what you listened to, because most of you are probably just going to listen to this and not actually watch what's on screen. If you really liked it, you could support us on Patreon. Any little bit helps, and if you support us at a high enough tier, you can take part in campaigns once a month. And special thanks to our current patrons, Sarah Boozer and Sam. And again, if you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube later. For those on Twitch right now, you can follow me. We try to do this every Sunday. I try to run other games on my channel. And I would love to see y'all here. And, yeah. I just have a very important question for the entire party. Out of all of the half-built robots in this Emerald Tower, how many do you think are fuckbots?
The Medusas.
90%.
I wouldn't know, because I didn't see them. I was too busy seeing a red pair of shoes. I had to wear them. Then I got transported. Then I just came back. You know? It was
I didn't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I'm pretty sure that the key to the airship is going to be a pair of red shoes.
Well, it is now.